Welcome back to Moose on the Loose. My name's David, and in today's top stories, we've got the dirtiest dog himself, Justin Trudeau, somehow allowing a company, an airline, to not pay taxes, a lot of taxes. In other news, Jagmeet Singh makes a deal with Justin Trudeau for pharmacare. You can see this was coming. Both of them don't want to give up their power. Also got a couple other stories about a kid who flies to school every day across the country because it's too expensive, some ridiculous rental prices, and a guy lights up the streets with some, we'll call them sparklers. See, let's jump into this. So first off, the dirty dog himself, this dirty hound. Actually, that's an insult to dirty hounds. Justin Trudeau has let Flair Airlines just get away with not paying $67 million in GST. Unbelievable. It really is. So what's happened here? This Toronto Sun, what is going on? This website is slower than mustard on a Thursday. Flair Airlines brought in 20 airplanes over 2 years and they had paid GST on that, and they did not. And the government just seemed to, not pay attention. So you can see here 20 Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. At the end of last year, November 23rd, right here, you can see there's a seizure issued from the Federal Court of Ottawa ordering Flair Airlines real properties and immovables to be seized to recoup taxes paid. And this was quietly rescinded on February 20th, 2024. So the Trudeau Liberals just kind of swept this under the rug. They're like, nah, you don't really have to pay those taxes. So they were going to take some of the airplanes back, sell them, and get the money back. Flair has not been doing well. They've actually had 4 planes already seized by a company that they were borrowing them from. You can see here last March, 4 of Flair's airplanes were seized. And this puts us all into question now because you also have Lynx Airline, which went under just before it was thought they would merge with Flair. Now, if Flair goes under, did those planes disappear? The taxpayers don't get our money. You got to wonder what's going on. So immediately, what did I do? And there's another article here from Flair too that goes over some other details and the investors and how it's broken down and all that stuff. But you got to wonder. So this airline, by the way, these are really cheap, these flights, but you kind of have to go whenever there's a seat. I looked up who's the CEO of Flair Airlines, and it's this guy. Now, I've been trying to find a link to this guy because if you think about it like this, say Justin Trudeau's like, oh yeah, we'll just kind of hide that and sweep it under the rug. Don't pay the taxes. $67 million. And then what if just happened, maybe a gift showed up in Trudeau's piggy bank, his little Ukraine piggy bank, his Davos piggy bank. This website says his net worth is $97 million. Other ones, converted like $120, $130 million. Oh, maybe that just goes up to 135 or 140, Just, slip him a quick 5 or 10 mil and then you don't have to pay taxes. Is that what's going on here, Justin Trudeau, you dirty dog? The corruption is just unbelievable. I don't know what's going on. That's just a theory. Why else would you not have someone pay that much money? Otherwise, why am I paying taxes? Why are any of us paying taxes? If you guys aren't going to take this serious with big corporations, why should any of us pay taxes? We already have to deal with all the crap that Justin Trudeau spews every time he opens his mouth. I personally have had enough of skunk breath. Just seeing this just makes me think skunk breath's behind this. We're going to move on to the next story. We got a story here. This one's back from November. I never covered it, and really nobody talked about it much, but there's people renting out half of their queen bed. I've seen like half of king bed, but initially it was this one here where in Toronto, basically people are renting out half their bed because it's just so expensive. This one is $900. This girl's got a video here.
When you thought the Toronto rental market couldn't get any worse, it did. I present to you shared bedroom in a lake-facing downtown condo for $900 a month. Looking for an easygoing female to share the master bedroom and the one queen-sized bed. I have been previously sharing the bedroom, which only has one queen size, with a roommate I found on Facebook, and it worked out perfectly. $900 a month to share not even a king, where you can comfortably put a pillow barrier, a queen-sized bed with someone.
Gotta get that snuggle
who's not
factor.
Your partner. Like, how does that work? Do you just go to bed and you're like, good night, roomie, and then you roll over? And also, why wouldn't you just invest in 2 twin beds and put them in the room and then just rent out the room? I have never, this is so unhinged, renting out a space in your bed.
Yes.
For $900 a month? No wonder so many people hate it here. Just when you thought
Oh, that's just wonderful. That's Canada now. Renting out half a bed. Never thought I'd see that. Another story here, we've got Chen. He saves $2,100 a month in rent in Vancouver because his family lives near the Calgary airport, but he goes to school at UBC in Vancouver. So I know both these well because my family is from Calgary and I used to live in Vancouver for 13 years. He's taking a bus or whatever, being dropped off at the Calgary airport. He flies over to Vancouver. He lands in the Vancouver airport, which is in Richmond. Then he takes the SkyTrain up, I don't know, it's 5 or 6 stops, then transfers to what's the 99B line bus all the way over. It's not going to be that far. I don't know how long that trip takes, maybe 35, 40 minutes. The SkyTrain bus ride, and then the flight itself is going to take like an hour and 20 minutes. So all in, he's probably 3 hours travel time. You can see here, so he lives at home. He only pays for utilities, and then he's saving that $2,100, and then he just flies out there 7 times a month. He said every twice a week. $150 Air Canada. He should be using Flair Airlines, my man. Save some money. And so apparently he spends $1,200 a month instead of $2,100 by flying. And he goes to school 2 days a week there and then does all his stuff at home and makes it work. This is absolutely ridiculous. Even doing this, though, you still won't get close to Justin Trudeau's carbon burning footprint there. So, yeah, that no one can touch that record. These stories are becoming increasingly just more and more ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous. And speaking of ridiculous, you've got the deal here that Jagmeet Singh made with Justin Trudeau. And basically, Jagmeet wanted to seem like some big tough guys pushing Trudeau around. Yeah, I'm fighting for the people with my Gucci bags. And he bent Trudeau over. He's like, yeah, I'm in control. And really, yeah, no. He basically caved. He got like this little deal. They're going to table it next week. The official thing, we'll see. In Ukraine right now, Chrystia Freeland was asked about it. She wouldn't comment on it, but here's the basics of it.
In exchange for the extension, the NDP said they were going to push for immediate coverage on diabetes medication and contraception. Both those drug types, according to the NDP, will be in this deal. The NDP says the contraception coverage will be similar to what exists provincially in BC. This includes birth control, IUDs, and emergency contraceptives. For diabetes, insulin for type 1 and type 2 diabetes will be covered in the deal. Brand name medications like Ozempic won't be in the deal, but some generic medications may be covered where available. For devices like insulin pumps, the NDP says this deal includes a plan to work with the provinces to help cover the costs of these devices.
Yeah, so they'll put that in next week. And basically, if you go back to what Jagmeet really initially promised to his followers, to his supporters, that is not the deal that he promised to them with his big pharmacare plan. He caved. He's not going to lose his power and lose his golden pension, obviously. So he just got something. He'll try to puff out his chest like he got some big deal and he's some big leader, but he's not. This is good news, though, for anyone who's got diabetes. It's really sad that the inventor of insulin didn't put a patent on it. He just released it to the world, wanting anyone to be able to have insulin for next to nothing. And yet somehow the big pharma companies in Canada get to make hand over fist on this guy's invention. Like, what is going on in this country? It should be manufactured by the government and basically sold at cost. Like, I don't understand why, but I do understand why. It's obviously big corporate greed tied in with politicians. That's what it is for everything. And finally, we've got a video here that Pierre Poilievre posted on his YouTube channel and on his X. This is in White Rock. This is just not too far from me here. It's an hour and a bit outside of Vancouver. This is ridiculous. There's a couple of guys that show up here with some sparklers. We'll call them sparklers in Canada. Like, you just don't see this. This guy's backing into his house right here. What the heck, man? That is unbelievable. Look at this. You can't make this stuff up. This is like out of some sort of old movie, man. This is Canada now. This is Justin Trudeau's Canada, where guys are running around with these sparklers. Little You can see here in the comment, while Trudeau's wasting billions on trying to figure out how to confiscate hunting rifles and harass licensed sports shooters, he let gun smugglers and criminals bring in these. that have been banned since the 1970s to our communities like this early morning in White Rock. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I'm sure Pierre Poilievre will bring it up in the next House of Commons session, and I'm sure Skunk Breath will just... he'll just blame like whatever. He'll just start talking about the AAA credit rating or whatever nonsense is on his mind at that time. There's so many things going on. Whether it's the government challenging the Emergencies Act. Like, there's just so many things. Oh, the Ukraine money. This is just out of control. If we jump on X here, there's people overlaying Justin's face on the Castro. Look. Oh, God. If you're having a bad day, here's something to make you feel better. That's actually hilarious. That's what a shot, man. Who took this photo? It just gets funnier the more you look at it. I'm gonna retweet that. Look at this. Ever since Trudeau's, I'm not going to turn his voice on. I can't listen to him today either. But ever since this speech where he just looks like just miserable and his eyes all red and weird, there's been people... They're like, what's happening with his eye? I've seen multiple of these threads. The comments are all hilarious on these. Well, this is a new one. I couldn't find I saw one the other day that had a whole bunch of comments on it. People had all their theories on it. It just gets out of control. Share your thoughts down below what you think is going on there. Oh, Skunk Breath got a whiff of himself. Finally, we've got a clip here from CHCH News. I don't know if this is a liberal-funded media because they cut Poilievre off in the middle of him talking, but...
In some women's change rooms and other spaces.
I believe that women's spaces should be reserved for women, and that's a common sense approach. For example, we need to have women's sports that are reserved for women because of the biological differences that men and women have. If we didn't have those biological differences, then we wouldn't have separate sporting What
the heck? His point was so solid, too. It's like, then why bother to have men's and women's sports? Just make it all one. Just call it sport. Hockey. There's no, there would be no WNBA. Just let the women play with the men, except none of them would make it to that level, obviously, because there's a physical dominance level that just comes with men being more physically powerful, faster, stronger. That's why they're separated leagues. Anyways, I don't know if this media is corrupt or not, or why they cut it off, or just bad editing, but that's where we're going to leave this episode. Be sure to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, turn on the bell notification, you get notified all my videos when they come out. Stay warm, stay fed. I'll see you guys in the next one.